I aspire to be an airborne ranger. To me, being an airborne ranger is the coolest thing in the Army. These are the best and toughest guys in the military. They do so much awesome stuff. Jumping out of planes and parachuting has to be one of the biggest thrills in the world. Jumping out of planes into combat is times 10. Airborne Rangers are the Army's elite soldiers, and being a leader to them is a great honor. To do this, first you have to graduate in the top 60% of your class rank at West Point, which is made up of academics, military leadership, and physical fitness. This seems like an easy task compared to the Army's toughest combat school, which is Ranger School. You only get invited to Ranger School if you're an elite infantryman, and out of those elite, the dropout rate is slightly over 50%. The infantry are the people you see in the movies, fighting from the front lines, living in forts and trenches. I wanted to be a ranger since I was a little kid, and one of my dad's friends gave me one of his ranger patches for my birthday. Thinking back on it, I'm sure my mom wasn't too happy about that gift. The airborne part comes from Airborne School in Fort Benning, Georgia, the same place where the first of 4 parts of Ranger School begins. In Airborne School, you learn different types of parachute jumps and get to execute them live in practice. How many people here have ridden in a plane before? How many of you jumped out of a plane before? Well, neither have I. And for someone that's not a big fan of heights, I'm surprisingly excited to do this. Airborne is a part of the Rangers you get to pick. Not every Ranger is airborne. There are other types, but to me, airborne is the most exciting. The part of Ranger School that begins in Benning is the physical part. The majority of the people who fail to drop out of Ranger School do so in Benning. The first week is purely physical, designed to break you. After that, it is all about military, strategic planning, and mental toughness. They go through weeks with only 2 hours of sleep at night, when they are lucky. All they get to eat is 1 or 2 MREs a day, which if you've ever seen or eaten one, you know it isn't a lot and it doesn't taste very good. MRE stands for Meals Ready to Eat. The Army has a loose definition of the word meal. An MRE is a pouch that has food in it to eat that supposedly can't go bad and takes no preparation. The food taste is awful. Many of the Ranger candidates end up keeping Tabasco sauce and either drinking it or putting it in their eyes in order to stay awake.
Oof.
The reason why I would want to do something like this is because I always like to push myself mentally and physically, or else I feel like I'm wasting my time. The 2 Ranger mottos are Sua Ponte, which means of their own accord, and lead the way, which is what the Rangers do. The Rangers are the Army's elite combat infantrymen, and almost always are the first in battle, relied for the Army's heavy combat.